Proposed dinghy storage regulation revisions under advisement. A new headlight law is in effect here in Massachusetts, and the capital budget includes further upgrades to Town Hall. It's Tuesday, April 21st, 2015. I'm Sarah Colvin. A wet, rainy start to the day serves as a reminder that there is a new law in effect in Massachusetts. Passed last month, the law requires that headlights be turned on whenever there is a need for windshield wipers.
This is another law that's aimed at increasing visibility of vehicles, particularly on a day like today where it's foggy. I mean, sometimes you might have a little bit of a thunderstorm where the visibility is not reduced, but this morning, a little bit earlier, it's starting to clear up now, but a little bit earlier it was quite foggy out. And with the rain, with the fog, obviously visibility is decreased. So the legislature, in their infinite wisdom, passed a law, which is part of a nationwide trend now, to require headlight use when the windshield wipers are engaged. Now, one of the things a lot of people don't realize is they think, well, my lights come on automatically as soon as I start the car. Well, those daylight, they're called daylight running lights, don't really qualify because they don't turn your taillights on. So you do have to physically, in many cars or in most cars, turn on your headlights. There are some cars, and it probably would be worth checking at some point, that when you turn your wipers on, that the headlights and the taillights will come on automatically, but it's very model specific.
The new law comes with a $5 fine if you're pulled over and ticketed by a police officer, but it's also a surchargeable offense, so if you do receive a ticket, you might see an uptick in your insurance bill. Well, from dinghies to kayaks to catamarans and stand-up paddleboards, Barnstable's beaches are dotted with personal watercraft vessels during the summer months. But new regulations could change that. At a public hearing held last Friday, Harbor Master Dan Horn outlined proposed changes to the town's dinghy storage regulations.
Being proposed is vessels greater than 12 feet in length overall, and no vessel greater than 5 feet in beam may be placed on any town landing, on a townway to water. So that's the biggest item. Some of the other concerns that have been raised over a period of time are about structures. The regulation does address structures. It makes a definition, and that definition really says structure means any man-made object which is intended to remain in place in, on, over, or under the tidelands or other waterways, and would require a local permit from the Conservation Commission or a Chapter 91 permit. So it addresses that, some structures. Another key point is that all vessels that are stored or to be stored on town property shall either display a decal that can be issued by the harbor master or by any other means that clearly indicates ownership and contact information of the watercraft.
Violation of the proposed regulations could result in a $100 fine.
As mentioned, there is a couple methods for enforcement. I think in the first year here, as with most of violations that we come across, we first of all try and find out who's in violation, who that person is one way or another. We try and give advance notice, let them know what the violation is, and the remedy to that. And in this case, it's probably removal of the boat or perhaps make sure it's identified and things like that. Subject to, that compliance or non-compliance or inability to find the owner, again, then we do have the ability to remove the boat.
Cotuit was largely represented at last week's hearing, with Civic Association President Rich Bowden speaking in support of tighter regulations.
I'm speaking specifically about Ropes Beach, which extends from the Katuitt Mosquito Yacht Club to the ramp at Hooper's Landing. Okay, last year, a high point of 153 quote-unquote vessels, okay, ranging in everything from catamarans to shells to multiple different kinds of sailboats to kayaks, paddle boards, you know, and it completely covered, okay, the beach including grasses and everything else. So we took a lot of testimony from a lot of different people in the little village of Katuitt, specifically talking about this one, which has been the guinea pig for a lot of different areas. And the board of directors of the Katuitt Civic Association voted for the following regulations: 10-foot length, 4.5-foot beam. And I might say that the 10-foot length, 4.5 beam is the same regulation specified at the Katuitt dock, the Katuitt landing around the corner, okay? Each vessel owner to be registered with the town, name, address, email, phone number. No storage on the grasses or the private property. And in order to ensure that, the Conservation Committee would have to specify what's grasses and what's not grass. And no storage of easily transported vessels.
Peter Cross of the Waterways Committee, while speaking as a resident and not on behalf of the committee, did speak to the work the Waterways Committee contributed to the revised regulations.
Committee, and I want you to know that I'm here as an individual. I don't represent the whole committee because we didn't have an opportunity due to many snowouts to come up with final discussion. But I want you to know that the Waterways Committee is committed to promoting the use of our water sheet in the town of Barnstable, not restricting it, and to the safe use of our waters by as many people as we can comfortably and safely. In terms of the issuing IDs, that becomes a safety issue. Frequently, dinghies, kayaks, canoes, all manner of watercraft are left on the beach. The tide comes in and off they go. The Coast Guard finds an 8-foot dinghy or gets a call for an 8-foot dinghy that's off Bishop and Clerk or someplace like that. They don't know, did it come from Bass River? They don't know, did somebody fall overboard? Was there a kid attached to it? So the identification, I think, is a critical thing.
Town Manager Tom Lynch is taking comments into advisement and expects to release a finalized version of the revised regulations this week. The historic Barnstable Town Hall is receiving further TLC. Director of Public Works Dan Santos explains that work continues to restore the building.
Make the town hall a modern, functional facility. It's a very public building, gets a lot of use, and so we started with roofing work. It has a slate roof, a lot of masonry repairs, new windows, new doors. They put a new vestibule in. In the last 2 years, they funded repairs to the stairways from top to bottom, and right now we're in the easternmost stairway, as you know, working in that building that's been closed off for a couple of months.
Yes.
But it's going to be wonderful when it's done. It's all being, new fire alarm system, new lighting, new plaster, wood trim. Going to have wooden stairs like the original building did.
Wow.
It's looking really good. A nice paint scheme. We just got CPC money to connect those two stairwells on the first floor hallway and do that whole hallway by the clerk's office and the tax collector's office.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's going to be great. And now the town council continued that funding and approved finishing up replacing the heating system.
The old coal-fired steam boiler has been removed, and now new interior infrastructure must be built before the modern, efficient system can come online. We'll be sure to tune in to Barnstable this morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. here on Channel 18. Tomorrow morning, we'll talk with members of the Barnstable Police Community Impact Unit. Hear an update from Director of Growth Management Joanne Miller-Buntich. Welcome Stacy Gallagher of the Child Advocacy Center Children's Cove, and talk with Director of Finance Mark Milne. View past episodes online at town.barnstable.ma.us. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.